Season 2 EXR Season 2 of F1 Tier 2 Round 5 at Bahrain Short. So, yes, you heard right, Bahrain Short. Definitely a different circuit we're not used to seeing on league racing calendars, but 100% race, so it's going to be a tiny bit longer than a normal 50% race around a normal track. So, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what times people can do. It's going to be a bit interesting with strategy as well, because not many people will have done this track, so strategy might be a bit here, there, and everywhere. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens in this very close and contested league. As you can already see, the field spread is not that big at all, and it's only going to get smaller, I feel like, as the race goes on. Yeah, ZZRD provisionally going on pole position with a 58.481. Of course, a very talented driver that got P2 last week in a very, very close and contested race at Hungary. So we'll be looking to make up more and more positions once the time is right. A bit of an audio glitch there, but going on board with Cutler, who is warming up his tyres, probably ready to go out on another lap. Yes, I think he is now. So we're going to go on board with him. So Cutler on a pretty decent lap so far. Is he going to be up or down on his personal best time? We'll have to wait and see. Champeshin goes with a 58.4 as Cutler is not up on his time, and I think will likely abandon this lap. You can see the timings are already starting to go down. People are always going to be getting quicker and quicker. As EXR Silver gets P3 by 1,000th of a second. I'm sure he's going to beat that time, but for now, so just as you can see, such close margins separating all of the drivers there. Asterix is on a lap now. Going through the first and second sector now. Is he up on his time? No, he's down by 2 tenths, so he's going to have to need a big sector, but no, he comes out, backs off his lap, and he'll be going again. We have Explicit and Mikey Morty in P10 and P8 respectively, so they will be looking to have a good race. So Explicit is going out on another flying lap now. Let's see what he can do. Braking very late to toe on, clipping the apex very, very nicely. Yes, on the power a bit too early, which causes quite a bit of wheel spin. EXR rapidly goes fastest with a 58.291. The gaps between the times of these drivers are going to be so small. A lot of it is accelerating in a straight line, so there's just not many places to gain time, but yeah. So, this is getting a nice toe from Preacher Chom ahead of him, going through the last corners now. Will it be enough to make an improvement on his lap time? But he goes into the pits. Let's go on to Mikey Morty, who does a 58.650, putting himself P9 on the grid. El Pistolero putting himself P7 as well. He's now on an in lap. Let's follow an Alfa Romeo of Faxim, who is starting a flying lap after doing a 59.1 so far. If Faxim up on his personal best, this could put him up into P12 or P13 depending on how his last sector goes. So Faxim stays P15 but improves on his lap time as he gets out the way of EXR Silver, who is going out on a flyer now, using all the track to try and set up a nice run out of turn 3. A bit of wheel spin on exit, which will not have helped his lap time at all. Keeping in 5th gear to try and keep the minimum apex speed up. Validates last corner, so probably will go into the pits. Yes, he does, as Cutler has been disconnected, so we'll need an invite back. Let me do that quickly. Got EXR Appley on an out lap now. We're going to follow him for a lap. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to skip back down to Explicit, who's going out on our lap now, currently on a 58.7. But I'm sure we'll be looking to improve on that by quite a significant amount. As Explicit goes P7. Oh, is everyone's leaving this? Well, do we do a lobby restart then? Yeah. If he doesn't let you back in, then we'll do a restart. I mean, do it after quali's finished. I was in take quali results. Oh. Yeah, right, lobby restart. I don't know. Oh, apparently. I don't know. Oh, apparently, oh. I don't think the servers are because I'm in a MS Terms just put in a league I'm in. People are saying they lags out in another race. My F1 won't load, so I feel like something's happening. So I think it might be an Xbox issue. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna restart my game. Everybody restart. Also, actually, Spenny. No, no, I need to disinclude audio. Yeah, we're back. We had to do a bit of a lobby restart as there are some issues. There are some issues with Xbox Live, so we decided to restart the lobby. So yeah. So yeah. Now loading in. So yeah, we're back in qualifying now. People going out for their laps and having a bit of a had a bit of a cool down between. So yeah, I think we heard that it is an Xbox Live issue, so that's just something we're gonna have to deal with, unfortunately. And yeah, but we are back racing now. We're going on board with Cutler, one of the exciting prospects, maybe looking to get pole position. We all know he loves a good drive around around Bahrain. Yeah. Include audio on the stream. Oh, carry on. No. No. Yeah. I'm joined with Matty W, who will include his audio when he is available, but he will be joining us very shortly. You doing it in staff chat? No, you've already put announcements out. Okay. So Carlo will be looking to go again after setting a 1 minute 6.1. So yeah, probably invalidated or wait. As you can see, there's quite a lot of traffic out on the track, but the drivers are doing a very good job in staying away from said traffic. Because Xbox Live had a few issues, so we had to do a lobby restart. So yeah, Cutler coming. Cutler comes across the line, sets a 58.4, putting himself into P3. The half attempt down his fastest lap, but I'm not sure it's going in again. Mikey Morty goes P4 and Explicit goes P5. Well, tell him why you can't. Jack H going on a lap now, clipping the apex of turn 1 very, very nicely indeed, using all the curve for turn 2. Take a really wide line and cut back in yourself as best as possible for turn 3. And try and take the smoothest line through that corner. Heading through into turn 4 now, or turn 11, but this is now turn 4. Clipping that very nicely now through up the tricky turn 5. So they're probably the most difficult corner on the circuit. Turn 5, they use all the exit curb if necessary. So Jack H goes P6 with a 58.6. Oh, you've just been shushed by Spenny. Matt, with your announcement, he just put a shush emoji. Brilliant. Yeah, so Silver is fastest at this moment in time. That's it. And Splitsy goes for 58.7, putting himself into P7 again. Mikey Morty on a lap now, I think. Bit of lag impeding him there, but nonetheless doing a very good job. Hooking the curb up very nicely through turn 6. And Mikey Morty goes pole with a 58.388, beating AXR Color by not much, and Explicit's invalidated his lap. Not so many people out on laps now. Some people are going out in their out laps, however. So Eri Stark, aka Batu Kokak, going out on our lap now. He's on the soft. I'm pretty sure everyone will be going out on the softs, as mediums are just not a good tyre around here. Have you included your audio, Matt? So that's Kokak going again. Sorry, I had a few things in the Discord with some of the drivers a bit unhappy with the restart, but just trying to sort that out quickly.
Hello.
Yeah, joined by my co-commentator Matty W06, of course, one of the fastest F2 drivers and not too bad in F1 as well. We're going on board with Explicit now, going out on a lap. Bit of a disappointing qualifying session for him so far. Finds himself down in P9, our championship leader. But he will be looking to definitely find some more time in the last 6 minutes of qualifying. Get on the throttle really nice and early. You have to be so committed to get the most optimal lap time. 4 1,000ths down on his laps so far. And down into 4th gear, hooking up the curb very nicely and accelerating mid-corner. Currently at just under a 10th up on his lap time. This would put him P8 or P7 depending on his last corner. Going through the last corner now, missing the apex quite a bit. That's going to ruin his run through the corner, and he invalidates just for good measure as well. And it would have been another 0.60, would not have improved on his lap time. His teammate Mikey Morty is on a now lap now, but we're going to go on board with Cutlass. He might be going out on a... Yep, there's two.
Jesus, this is very
in the
close.
Ferrari. Yeah, as you can see,
everybody in the
not even a second.
Half a second.
The entire grid.
From
yeah,
1st to 15th.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy stuff. Everyone is just being very,
Should
very
I give you the championship? Have a look here.
No, because they haven't been updated yet.
Okay. So, could I give you... There's race... Silly designers. Give them to... All I know is...
Well, no information for Thaxton's Delta there, unfortunately, but ZZRD, aka Reese, is now on a lap now using all of the exit curb on the exit of turn 6, and he's currently 2/10 up on his fastest lap. It might not even seem like that much, but when you come to the end of qualifying session, every tiny bit of time you can find is absolutely crucial. He comes around the final corner and sets a 58.5, putting himself into P8. El Pistolero not on our lap.
Wow. It's an improvement on the lap of Mickey Morty. I'm actually going to do my job now. Aptly has said that he's not, well, he said something that I can't say about his lap, and it's translated that he's not a very happy bunny.
Yeah, we're going to go forward with Champestian for one of his flying laps of the session. Maybe his last, we'll never know. See whether he comes into the pits, keeping it in third through turns 1 and short shifting up into 4th gear on exit. Sorry for the audio glitch, it's quite annoying, but it's still in the game.
Silly gears. So who are you on board with right now?
Champestian.
Up in the first sector.
The first sector.
Hawks up the inside curve there on the throttle nice and early. Touch to the exit curve, wouldn't advise that. Pretty tight through there, could be a little bit tighter. Using a lot of the curve there. He's going to go wide. No, he's kept it in just about 110, 1.5 ton foot. Purple middle sector. On the throttle again. Running up to line, is it going to be enough? It's enough.
58.3.
P2.
So not far off. I think that'll be his last run as well. EXR Silver now starting a lap.
Also watching on board with Asterix F1, who's getting an amazing tow from the Ferrari of Jack H down the final straight. Asterix F1 up 1 position. Jack H into P3.
Very
as
nice
well.
lap time from him. EXR Silver slightly down in the first sector, but I'm sure we might be able to find some time there using loads of the curb. They're really carrying a load of speed through that sector, so a very nice run from him using a lot of the outside curb, which you do need to open up the next corner. Let's see what his delta is saying. He's down by just under a tenth, but he might be able to make it up in the last sector. Will he be able to hook it up? Slightly misses the apex, but carries a loss of apex speed there, so let's see whether he'll be able to improve on his lap. He doesn't, so it's going to be P6 at the maximum for him on the grid, as people are going out for their last flyers now, and people leaving it really late. It's a shooter 50, sorry, on a lap as well, losing the back end at the last corner, which isn't exactly ideal, and he goes into the pits.
Oh, Cutler, P2. Happily on his outlap as well.
Gonna follow El Pistolero. Hopefully he can get himself above P11 now, going on his last flying lap of the session. Looking very late into turn 1, clipping the apex, trail braking a lot as well. Really important to do through that corner.
Who are you on board with, sorry?
El Pistolero.
I'm just going to set on board with Aptly just to keep you updated. Aptly marginally down in the first sector. His championship rival. Well, his championship rival was Explicit, and I believe... I can't remember where Explicit finished in Hungary, but I know that his other championship rival... Oh.
So El Pistolero down by a tenth, so I don't think he'll be improving. We were going to skip on board with EXR Rapidly, marginally up on his lap time. Let's see what he can do in this last sector. Might be able to pull something out the bag using lots of the outside curb and gets a fantastic run.
He's hung that up well. He might manage to get himself into the top 3.
And
no.
0.4, so
marginally down.
Improve on his lap time.
Could be a threat from ZZRD, who's marginally up in the McLaren.
Let's see whether he can improve on his lap time. He goes for a 58.3, putting him P7, so a very nice lap time from him.
As far as it goes in the championship challenges.
Corner. And Samurai doesn't improve on his lap time.
Championship challenges wise, we got Cutler sitting the highest, the other two having a bit of a disappointing session.
Oh no, Cutler's in P2, by the way.
Yeah, Cutler having the best session out of the
Oh yeah, looking at me.
I've crossed myself over.
No, yeah, don't worry. So Explicit down in P13. Interesting. Our championship leader not having best of results. So that's unfortunate for him, but maybe he'll be able to make it up in the race. EXR Rapley as well, not really having the best of qualifying positions. So as you can see, an incredibly close qualifying, with a second separating the entire field and half a second separating the top 14. So it's just a lot of close drivers. I'm sure we're going to see the DRS train fully operational. So yeah, rundown of qualifying. Mikey Morty gets pole in the Mercedes with a 58.156. Cutler in P2, but the wrong colour in P2. Campesi in P3. Jack H P4. Asterix P5. EXR Silver P6. ZZRD P7. Preacher Chom P8. P9 was EXR Rapley, and P10 was Louis T.
Well, that is a very close grid. But in a championship that is as close as this, it's the fine margins that are going to cost you. Explicit down in P13. The free choice of tyres, though. So qualifying in P17 was only 8/10 off pole position. And it's not like it's a really short track. It is a short track, but it is extremely close just because of how many straights there are. So it is very small margin for error.
So yeah, a dry race. I'm sure no real surprise coming from in a bit of a desert at Bahrain. So no surprises there, as I asked one of the drivers and they confirmed that it's going to be dry the entire race.
Just in case you were a bit confused. So formation lap on?
No.
Oh.
So 5 lights out. And away we go for the start of the Bahrain
Oh,
GP.
Cutler's already got an
Sakir.
amazing launch.
Yeah, a very good launch from him. Are there going to be any moves down into turn 1? Asterix and Reese sending it up the inside. Jack H has had a bit of a poor start. And there's a few cars going off there. There's a hash round of Bailey G at the first corner. Jack H and Champesian getting very close.
Aptly already up to P3 as well. Here they are. All of these cars come tumbling down to turn 5. It's a 5-second time penalty for El Pistolero for corner cutting and gaining 1 place. Now EX Rapley needs to push and catch that front 2, because otherwise he could find himself dropping off out of the DRS train. So we've got a yellow flag in the second sector. Who's that? Shooter bot going extremely slowly.
Oh!
What?
Nothing. Oh! HTJ's making a bit of contact. We've got lots of drivers hurling towards.
Apparently we're on the third lap.
Quite some speed.
And Cutler's leading a Cutler 1-2.
Second. Oh.
Game is flawless.
As Asterix goes down the middle.
So in this extremely strange race. Oh, we're back to lap 2, and second Cutler has been reduced to P15. With
it's a silver.
Real Cutler still leading.
Making a move there.
So we've got now Ferrari of Cutler, Explicit up 8 positions, Aptly up I believe 6 positions. Champestian's dropped a lot. Silver I think also dropped quite significantly. And now DRS is actually enabled, and Aptly is absolutely miles away from the leading group. So 2 DRS zones on this very short track. One the leaders are coming up to now. DRS open just as you go past that curb. And you can... This one doesn't gain you too much in terms of time, but cut off 5% ERS. He's going to struggle to gain that back. Either way, Mickey Morty's having a problem.
Oh!
Mickey Morty's got a problem. What's happened there?
I'm not too sure, but he's had a bit of a problem. But Cutler out in front has got a 5-second lead. An absolutely monumental
Did his wheel reset or
start
something?
to this race. Maybe having a few wheel problems. I'm not too sure.
Oh. What's...
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. All I know is Mikey Morty's gone from P2 down into P12, but Ixar Rapley and Louis T going at it. Louis T up into P2,
Yeah,
doing a
with a damaged wing.
fantastic job in the Williams driver. Oh no, that is the worst news possible around this track.
I think Explicit also's got a damaged wing as well.
I'll try and see. Yeah, you can see the 2 packs of DRS trains are fully operational now, and it's going to be very tricky to overtake someone when they also have the DRS on the car ahead. But Explicit doing a nice job, but Ixar Rapley looks to really be struggling. You can see Louis T is absolutely hounding ahead as Ixar shoots a 50.
And maybe he was having some internet issues. Is pulled out of the race. Now Appley is going to be leading this train. Is he going to have the DRS? Oh no, Louis T is going to be leading this train. Down towards turn 1. Explicit's pulled to the outside. He's using the last of his overtake mode. And he's going to get through. However, he could be vulnerable if Appley tries to send it up the inside, which he has. He's gone up the inside of his championship rival and has not come out on top. And has gone a bit wide there, and El Pistolero is going to be lurking behind, looking for an opportunity to get past. Is he going to have that opportunity? Yes, he is, on the DRS. Down into turn 5. Appley tries to keep it in, but he can't. That damage is hampering him too much, and he's going to have to concede 4th place. So,
El Pistolero up into P4. Doing a very, very
being the leader of the train, still
there.
retaining his position from that lap as well. So lap 6 of 57 now.
Seems like a lot of laps left, but it will absolutely fly by. We've got El Pistolero right on the back of Louis T, and Explicit Ixar Rapley is falling back a lot. He might have to pit and come into the pits for his damaged wing. Jack H up into P6 in the Ixar Silver. P7 Stan Bowers is right on the back of Champestian. Champestian's got a lot of ERS though to use to his advantage. Getting a bit slidey through the last turn, and Stan Bubbles will surely be able to get the move done. Uses his overtake, has the DRS, and gets the move done from the Alfa Romeo driver. Looking back ahead, El Pistolero very, very close to the back of Louis T. The DRS train, again, as I'm always going to be saying this race, is just there. Cutler up into P11, sorry, up to P1 still, extending his gap ever so slightly on Explicit, and Louis T doing a fantastic job. Hasn't got much ERS.
Neither is Explicit to defend from Louis T, who's got 75%. Appley also very high on ERS. Oh, Jack H.
Rip. Ooh. I'm not doing that then. Yeah. El Pistolero. Right on the back of Louis T, but doesn't quite have the ERS to get past the DRS train, keeping Louis T ahead. Of course, the third man in the DRS train is definitely the person you don't want to be. You probably want to be in P2 in the DRS train, but nothing doing quite there. Meanwhile, Cutler still extending his gap to Explicit by quite a bit now, but losing a bit due to not having as much ERS. But Mikey Morty gets 3 seconds. So after being P2, getting demoted down, he's slowly but surely recovering his way back up. Got a penalty though, but nonetheless he'll be looking to make up more and more positions. Got Jack H still on the back of Appley, unable to get past the Renault driver, coping pretty well with his damage, but hits into the back of him again and gets some wing damage. Big G Jones retiring from the session as he is out of this race.
He's forgotten which track we're on. I mean, it's embarrassing. I have done that before. Managed to keep out of the wall though. So now as you get too distracted, he's drove straight on, he's trying to recover, and it's not ended very well.
Oh, that's a Williams round of Samurai. So it might be game over for him as he retires from the session as well. So quite a few retirees all DNFing from the session. So Bailey G doing not the worst job on the medium compound tyres. Had a bit of a spin at turn 1. Has recovered well and goes down the inside.
Appley already in the pits.
Of Preacher Chum.
For the mediums.
Going on a bit of a 2-stop. Yep, goes to the mediums. They will not go to the end of the race, but they'll be able to pit at the end of the race for some fresh softs. Louis T has lost the position to El Pistolero, but they've crucially lost DRS to Explicit. So Explicit now will be hounding down the road, whilst they're going to be struggling to keep up with him. Louis T just saving all of his ERS. He's just not using any. It's fine to let El Pistolero go. At the end of the day, he'll be saving his tyres, he'll be saving that ERS and fuel they will need for later, so doing a very nice strategic job there, whilst not losing too much time to the cars around him.
So Appley is about, let me just get the gap to the leader when it loads, 37.5 seconds off the lead.
Let's see how that gap, what that gap does in the next couple of laps. So 37.5 seconds, the gap now. We'll see what that will be in the next couple of laps.
I mean, Louis T again is on 89%. The two cars in front have got a combined total of 25. So,
but noticeably, Explicit now is under a bit of pressure again as El Pistolero is back in the DRS. So that lack of ERS and stuff is really starting to hurt Explicit. He's now got to start pushing more, using more of his tyres, but Louis T is absolutely doing a fine job at the moment. Cutler's just in a different world in the moment. He's keeping the gap between him and Explicit the same. It's got a very nice gap between all of these drivers.
Right, I'll clear my.
No, just do it after the race. Now I want it back. Take off like a really bad car. Like Cherise or Trident. Okay, buy Cherise then.
Okay.
So Pistolero has got past Explicit and is now leading this DRS train. Will hopefully Explicit will be able to save some ERS and stuff behind now, and we'll be able to make some moves. She's only on lap 13 of 57, but already just under a quarter of this race already gone explicit. Still right on the back of this train. Louis T on 95 or so percent ERS. He's doing a really good job. But El Pistolero and Explicit are going to go side by side down to turn 1. No, it doesn't. El Pistolero backs out and just stays behind the two drivers. So we're going to go look back at the gap between Cutler and Apperly now. That's a leader is 35.9. It was 30.
7.5.
Was 37.5.
About 4 or 5 laps ago.
Closed up just under 2 seconds in the last 3 laps, so lapping quite a bit faster than Cutler. So once Apperly pits, he will be ahead of Cutler, but of course has to make up more time as he'll have to make another pit stop. So good progress from Apperly so far, and maybe he'll be able to recover into the points paying position, maybe if he can hold on. It's Louis T is still right on the back of this train. He's got 95% ERS, probably gonna have to use some to stay with the front two. Yes, he does. Other than that, doing a really good job.
So, not much happening just yet. Bit of a snap for the team. Drivers
waiting
are,
for a safety car, maybe.
They are spaced out, but they are all in bundles. But just no one seems to want to go for the move. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to cast a spell of do something, please.
Yeah, basically, Cutler is extending his his gap to Explicit and El Pistolero through just them two battling and swapping positions during the DRS train. But Asterix is doing not a bad job in P9, almost hitting Mikey Morty as he tries to brake very late through turns 1.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being a driver and actually wanting to do well in the race rather than giving a good show? Yeah, that's be boring, man.
El Pistolero sticking behind Explicit, and look at that, he saved up 25% more ERS than Explicit, so he's doing a fine job.
Alright, I got the numbers ready.
Well, Pistolero, will he be making a move on Explicit this lap? We'll have to wait and see. Pulling alongside. Say what are? What drivers? What? Nah, don't do it on the stream. Just do it later. Wait, no. Just... Right, Matt, just don't announce anything yet. And wait till after the race because I need to speak to you about it. Okay? No. We'll do them, but after the race. Just trust me. So yeah, Louis T still on the back of this train, still on the 100%. If he was to use all of his ZRS, he could probably start to catch Cutler, who is sat on
He's just got a 3-second penalty. I didn't.
But it's the
mean
other
to
Cutler,
you, sorry.
so not actual Cutler.
Oh.
Bubbles and EXR Silver having a bit of a battle, as we're already on to lap 18, to a third of the way through the race now, as Dan Bubbles gets a move done on EXR Silver. We're seeing a lot of DRS overtaking, but not too much battling, as the drivers just know it's just going to not help their race at all. Explicit looking to make a move on El Pistolero, or will he just sit behind? El Pistolero's used all of his DRS that he had saved, so kind of undoing the progress that he had. Silva getting a move done on that bubble. I feel like we're just going to see a lot of these DRS passes, but Mikey Morty not making up too much progress really, but so happily right on the back of Bailey G, and I'm sure we'll be looking to make a move on the Haas driver on this next straight. Not using any ERS as he knows that Bailey G will likely not fight this at all. And Pescian doing a good job in P7, has all of his ERS to use as well. But meanwhile, Cutler still pulling a gap to the drivers behind him.
Champestian getting a
3-second
penalty. I think Stambo's might have got a 1 as well. He ran quite wide there.
So looking from Cutler's it's tier 3. It's tier 3.
So lap 20, we'll see some of the first normal pit stops that are in sync for the one-stop strategy. I don't know.
Silva, I think he's going on a 2-stop, to be honest.
Is he?
Because I doubt he's going to make those mediums go 40 laps.
I think that is the strategy it recommends. Box around this time.
Soft medium.
Yeah, around this time though.
From my... Oh, does it? Okay, well, I'm just wrong then. So we're going to look at the gap between the leader and our athlete. It stayed at 35 seconds, so now athlete not really gaining any time on Cutler at the moment. So definitely not doing too good on the medium.
Champestian just absolutely flown past.
Pistolero almost getting Explicit out of DRS range, but the DRS is just so powerful. Notice that Louis T has dropped out of DRS of the two in front of him, so he's now got to try and work his way back in. It's going to be very difficult in the DRS train that those two have ahead, but he's got the ERS, choosing not to use it, probably just still waiting, doesn't really need to use it at all that much. With Champestian in P6, got like 90% ERS, and he's just not
Cutler
using
into
it
the
at
pits.
all. He just knows he doesn't need to. Cutler, El Pistolero and Louis T are all into the pits. Stan Bubbles into the pits as well. Will we see anybody else go into the pits? I don't think so. So XR Silva going to come out just ahead, just behind, sorry, XR Silva getting out just ahead of his teammate Louis T has pitted for the mediums as well, and I'm sure we'll be getting a nice ending cut on Explicit. Mikey Morty down into P11 I think after he's pitted, but Explicit out on the soft still, looking to have those fresher tyres, which will definitely help him at the end of the race. But
Champestian picking up 2 penalties in the space of just a few laps as well. So he's going to leave 6 seconds now. Explicit into the pits. Same for Champestian.
The undercut for XR Silva has definitely worked. He's up into P5 now, so doing a very nice job there. Will we see? Oh, Jack H is onto the hard compound of tyres. He's going for a bit of a different strategy to the rest of the guys. Will Mikey Morty be able to get a move done on Bailey G? Yes, he does, using the overtake button very effectively.
So Cutler with an 8.5 second gap. Jesus.
doing absolute wonders, but Visselaris seems to have lost out quite a bit to Louis T and EXR Silver. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Maybe something happened on an in-lap or something, but yeah. EXR Silver also with not a lot of ERS at all.
Yellow flag, second sector. There's a Ferrari
That's
going
Jack
slowly.
H round, I think, so that not a safety car. He doesn't DNF, but Jack H drops down quite a few positions. Asterix up into P10 now. And Asterix getting a move done on Bailey G, who's not having the worst of races. Still out on the mediums though, so needs to make another pit stop. A safety car right now would definitely help him in his quest for some points today.
So, gonna have a quick penalty check as the Red Bulls are swapping overhead towards turn 5. So, penalties are 6 seconds for Mickey Morty and Stan Bubbles, 9 for Trampestion, 5 seconds for Aries Dark, 3 seconds for Fake Cutler, 15 seconds for Preach Charm, and 3 seconds Jacket. Another 3 seconds there for EXR Silver as well. Not another first penalty for him of this very long race that we're about
Halfway through, almost.
sort of getting there.
Yeah, again, not too much going on. A bit of a split pack at the moment, but Mikey Morty, having gone for a bit of an undercut, has got himself up into P7 now, so he's making his way through the field after dropping down to P12 or P13 after a lap 5 incident or around there. So after losing loads of positions after being P2, is starting to make them back as Bailey G gets a 3-second penalty for track limits.
So Cutler cruising out in front, has lost a second to Explicit, however, since they came out of the pits. Louis T in P3, still with extreme amounts of ERS. Just choosing not to use it, I suppose. Happily with a 3-second time penalty as well. I mean, everyone around him has picked up penalties.
That could
And
make a difference come the end of the race, especially if we have a late safety car like we could always have. That could be the difference between getting a win or getting P10 in such a competitive grid. But EXR Silver still just staying behind his teammate. A lot of the drivers lacking in the ERS department. Louis T though, however, not one of those drivers, on about 85% ERS. Let's over to the telemetry on 80% ERS, so doing a very, very good job as of yet, and that can definitely help him later on in the race. Explicit is starting to catch up to Cutler though. He hasn't got much ERS of the rest of the drivers, but he is starting to close that gap down between him and Cutler. Could we see another late Explicit win? I don't know, we're going to have to wait and see.
Elpishler up the inside of Louis T, who's still not using much of that ERS. I can't understand why, but sure. If he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose only really using it when he needs to. He's maybe happy to settle for a P3 and happy to just stick behind. Well, I don't know. But, have to see. Maybe this strategy won't pay off. Maybe he's going to lose too many positions. He's been saving so much that he's not been focused on using it to its full potential there. So we'll have to wait and see come the end of the race. Of course, what some of the drivers may or may not know is that once you go below 20% ERS, you actually start to lose the amount of power it gives you. So let's say two people are going in a straight line, one of them's on 80%, one of them's on 15%. The person with 80%, given the exact same car and everything, will be going faster as they're getting the full power of the ERS. And then once you go below 10%, it becomes even more. So it's more beneficial to have more ERS. So Louis T has had full power of the ERS in a medium and overtake, whereas El Pistolero and Explicit and Cutler, those who have been on lower, have not actually been getting the full benefit of the electronic, the ERS system.
Do you wanna try and get that out?
So, shush. Yeah, Louis T just sticking behind El Pistolero, just has made pressure him into a mistake which could allow him to bolt off, but they're not losing too much time to Explicit. But Explicit is currently hunting down Cutler rather efficiently, the gap down to 6.3 seconds.
I don't understand
fine
Louis T's philosophy here. He could have got that move done then, he didn't get the move done. He's got about 70% more.
He could have probably been catching up to Cutler if he had been using his ERS.
I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, it's a hard strategy to understand, to be honest, because I can see no reason not to use his ERS. A safety car now would bring everybody up to his level. And he is not even on like 1 or 2 levels above. He's in he's different gravy in terms of ERS levels. I don't understand his reason not to use it, but you know, whatever, I suppose. Whatever you fancy. Still not using it now down this straight as we go across line for lap 30 for the drivers fighting for the final podium position. Still yet to even make an attempt, but you never know. El Pistolero using that wide line. I mean, I've seen him doing it about 3 times now and he's still yet to get a penalty, so I don't know, maybe it's allowed.
Mikey Morty and happily exchanging positions there, as Mikey Morty is currently ahead, coming under threat from Stan Bubbles as well, though, almost. I think Mikey Morty will get the move done into turn something, and there's yellow flags, as Ixas Silva has definitely had a moment there, as he's lost about 6-7 seconds to Mikey Morty and Appley, so not having the best of races then. So Appley using a load of his ERS, looking to get straight back past Mikey. Mikey making a bit of a defensive move, but I think Appley might have the position done, locking up a little bit, really pushing himself there, but Mikey Morty loses out the position and gets a time penalty for doing so. Again, another couple of laps later, Elters Preacher traumatized from the session, but Explicit is really hunting down Cutler. He's doing a fantastic job now. The gap now down to 5.5 seconds. So, as that's Appley off. Appley's off!
Appley is
into the wall.
Out of the
I
race.
think he spun at turn 5
Are we going to have
6,
a safety car?
and that might cause a safety car. As there's also another car off.
Well, Cutler is now going to get a big championship. A virtual safety car has come out. So, what does that mean for this race? Any of the people coming past the pits opt into box now?
So that's another reason
a Haas is
why
in.
a safety car would not be good for Louis T. Look at that, he's pretty much on 100%. This is just allowing El Pistolero and drivers like that to recharge their batteries, so it's definitely not helping Louis T at all, as he's now able to just save even more, but just a bit too much at this moment in time. So that's one of your championship contenders out of this race, so that's definitely not good for him. Drivers have got to be careful not to do anything stupid under VSC, not to get any drive-through penalties.
Champestian has done the opposite.
But Cutler looks to have gained about a second under that VSC somehow. No idea how he's managed that, but such is life, I suppose. Stumbolt's using a lot of ERS. Will he be able to get Mikey Morty? I don't think he will be able to. He's going to stick behind for now. Maybe go for a move a bit later. Preacher Sean retires from the session.
I got it, but
Say it. Yeah, and then just tell me now. Oh, Stan Bubbles is round. Will he be out? No, manages to hold it just about. But yeah. Louis T might be going for a move on explicit here. Finally, will he send it on the Red Bull driver? No, he doesn't. Still staying behind. Still trying to force El Pistolero into a mistake of some sort. Pistolero just got no ERS. If he was to actually use his ERS, he would have been past him ages ago, and he would have been catching up to explicit in that. But that is not happening at the moment. Got back down to 5.6 seconds. So, Explicit's going to need a big last third of the race to catch up to the Ferrari driver. A penalty for any one of them could decide the race. So Cutler is on 1 warning and Explicit is also on 1 warning. So both are staying out of penalty troubles for the time being. No, not of that, no. Do not say if he can prove it, no. No, do not say that. Explicit's strategy of staying out an extra couple of laps has definitely started to work out now. He's catching Cutler by a lot. Cutler though has got 60% ERS, whereas Explicit only has 10, so he's got to really start to try and use his DRS advantage before it's too late, before Explicit can stay inside the DRS. Ooh. Well, not craving for, shall we say. Which is fair enough. Yeah. Oh, racing in F1 is definitely probably not the best thing to do if you're not saving the planet, but it's getting better. The gap between Explicit and Cutler is still decreasing. It's decreased by another couple of tenths this lap, so he can keep this up. If he can close in within another 2 tenths per lap for the remainder of the race, he will be able to catch Cutler sufficiently, so it will be good for him.
He's still getting the DRS off the back marker of Saxim in the Alfa Romeo. So, still working out well for him. He's not going to get overtaken just yet.
Yeah.
Didn't do the thing.
Also put in shooter bot as well. Please.
That takes me to 20 then, that's class.
I know, we can have a full grid because it's not going to be streamed, so you can get 22.
Is it going to be a random lineup or?
Oh! Bailey G retires from the session in Sector 3, but I think that was in the pits, I'm not too sure. But no safety car, unfortunately, so that has definitely not worked out for anybody, but Explicit still catching and catching and catching. Pistolero going for a move on Louis T, I'm not too sure why. He's using every last drop of his overtake button. For what reason, I don't know. As he gets a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. So, that's really going to factor some stuff in.
Explicit
for the rest of this
also catching
race.
up to the Cutler even more.
Explicit with literally 0 ERS.
Taxi, the back marker, is still getting involved in this fight, which is quite
And
funny, to
probably
be
a
honest.
bit off-putting. So Louis T back behind El Pistolero. So that, I mean, I guess his strategy is now kind of working out. As maybe he's just not trying to catch Explicit, or Cutler just knows that that fight probably isn't one that's going to work too well. So he's just going to stay inside El Pistolero. El Pistoleri's DRS. He's probably just going to chill out and just, you know, just wait till the end of the race, where El Pistoleri's penalty will be applied and he will get P3.
3/4 through the race, and Louis T has pressed his overtake button. It's taken 43 laps, but we finally got it. As Asterix appears to drop out of his pit, he is pitted for, well, a safety car. That's what he wants.
I think for some soft, he's almost going to get lapped by Cutler. Safe by not much. Yeah, Explicit's still catching Cutler, but I mean, if Cutler was to use the DRS for a lap, that gap would shoot up to about 4.5 seconds if he used it properly. So, it's not looking too good for Explicit, but Cutler looking to be struggling on his tyres. They're getting quite a lot of wheel spin, which is not helping him at all. And there is a yellow flag. I'm not too sure what that was for.
Another false start.
Having a bit of a battle there, getting a bit touchy with each other. But, oh, this fake Cutler is going for a move on stand Bubbles.
Fake Cutler around the outside of the real stand Bubbles. What's going on here? Appears to be going very slowly.
The gap now 2 seconds between Explicit and Cutler, so a tyre advantage and maybe a setup advantage as well is really helping Explicit here. He's doing a fantastic job.
So the only real battling on track is between Mysterious Cutler and Stan Bubbles for P7. It's all pretty useless though, as Stan Bubbles with a 12-second time penalty.
Asterix F1 goes fastest of all in this race with a 59.7 lap time. He will be able to catch up to the points runners, I'm sure, as you can see them just ahead of him. Maybe he can get himself back up into maybe a cheeky P9, maybe, depending
a note about
on everything else.
So, Explicit on 6% ERS, Cutler on 46%, so even if Explicit gets anywhere near in these final 11-10 laps, I don't think he'll be able to make the move stick.
You can see the even Explicit using ERS below 10%, whereas Cutler not using ERS in medium is pretty much the same pace. Explicit really isn't gaining much by just having no ERS. He's losing out a lot of time. If he was just even above 10-15%, then he would just be so much quicker, which I don't think he is quite realising at this stage of the race. Oh! That's Aries Dark round after spinning, but saves it magnificently. What a save! George Banks would be proud of that one. That was incredible stuff from him. I don't know how he's managed to save that, but he has. So fantastic stuff from the Haas driver. So realistically, the gap that Explicit needs to catch up to Cutler by is only 1.3 seconds. If he can just get within that DRS, that treasured DRS, which is so powerful around here, he'll be fine for the rest of the race. He just needs to find a way to get in it.
I mean, Louis T will probably look back on this race. I don't know why he's not pushed any harder.
It could definitely have been a lot more for him, to be honest. I'll say that now.
And as you may know, whenever I'm on the stream, I like to make it a multi-sport stream. And there hasn't been much happening, but finally, after a game that seems to have gone on longer than this race, Scott McTominay has scored a goal. So I'm sure Cutler out in the lead is having a bit of a party in his car if he's seen that. So, Louis T is finally trying to make a move with his 60% more ERS. Only a minor advantage.
Mikey Morty now inside the DRS range of EXR Silver. His tyres are looking extremely worn. And the same with EXR Silvers. He's got to try and preserve them quite a bit to make them go to the end of the race. Explicit still catching Cutler ever so slightly, but Cutler using ERS, so you can see the time just absolutely flying up. He's gained 2.5 tenths just on a straight, 3 tenths almost on a straight just from using that ERS above 20%, whereas Explicit's just got nothing to reply with. I don't think Explicit will be catching Cutler. That ERS difference is definitely making a difference. Louis T still just sticking behind El Pistolero. El Pistolero has been on less than 10% ERS this entire race, whereas Louis T I don't think has dropped below 50.
I don't think he's dropped below 70. Truthfully.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff here. Mickey Morty still in DRS of XR, so we're looking to just save it. No.
I mean, Mickey Morty obviously having that strange thing at the start of the race where his car just appeared to turn off track. I mean, I don't really understand what happened there, but it did. So, Cutler has depleted his ERS as well now, going on to the final 5 laps. He's only on 16%.
So maybe Explicit now has a chance to get it done, but I don't know.
Explicit is catching Cutler though on these laps. Cutler's making more mistakes. The lap time last time round for Cutler, he lapped a slowly getting down there, a 102 flat. Mickey lapped a 1.5 101 point. Oh my god, numbers.
Oh, some interesting stuff's happening now. Explicit,
No,
he's in the DRS of Cutler. Cutler's really struggling on his tyres, and now Explicit has finally been able to catch up to the back of Cutler. He's got the ERS and DRS, and he gets past Cutler. So Cutler somehow not able. Oh, and Cutler's round.
There is
big collision there,
contact for
and
Cutler
has been
in
spun
Bahrain.
round.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Come back on the track very unsafely there. Now Louis T and his 75% ERS has created a master plan. We were all just too naive to see it. However, in these pressing times with 2 laps to go, he is still not using his ERS down the straight. Yes, he is. Finally. So Cutler, is he going to send it up the inside of El Pistolero? Yes, he does. Has to go all over the curb. El Pistolero stays in front. Louis T gaining on them both. And there's contact. And El Pistolero is off. El Pistolero is off at turn 2 after being pretty much pushed through the corner because of how slow he was going by Cutler, who in turn a few laps prior was, I don't really know what happened, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. And Silva is past El Pistolero now as they head up towards. Oh, and Mickey Morty's made a very opportunistic move there up the inside. Pretty nice from him. So Louis T has got 76% more ERS and is going to have the DRS going down this straight. If he's smart, he'll just go and absolutely blitz it on the final lap, which is next time round. But he's going to go now. Is he going to have enough? Oh, he definitely is. And he's heading to turn 1. Cutler trying to fight back with his 3% of ERS charge. I don't think he's going to even stand a chance, even with the DRS on the final lap, to try and get past Louis T in the Williams. So I think this is going to be all for nothing come the end of the race.
Going to be a bit of a last lap shootout, and you can see Louis T's just pulling away so much on the straight. He's got that ERS, and that is just so crucial. So Louis T's plan is just completely worked out. He might even get the race win after maybe a possible penalty for the Cutler, an explicit incident. We'll have to wait and see what the stewards think about that. So Yeah, no, it's just been a crazy race, and Cutler looks like he's run on a bit too late as he breaks
I
really,
believe
really
that
late.
Cutler was leading the race for 54 out of the 57 laps. And
now
now,
he's going to come home
last
P3.
lap, he is on the bottom step of the podium. Either way, controversial or not, Explicit was on a charge. However, I am not sure if he'll keep this race win. I don't think Louis T will get it within 5 seconds, which is probably most likely the penalty he'll get. But after 57, very short, but what felt like very long laps, Explicit crosses the line and wins the Tier 2 race in Sakhir, Bahrain. And I believe he takes the lead of the championship. And of course, EXR Happily DNFing out of this race, his 2 nearest rivals finishing 1st and 3rd. Louis T bringing home P2. Silver P4. Mickey Morty finishes P5 after that strange thing at the start of the race. Asterix F1 comes across the line in P7 with Fake Cutler behind him. Aries Dark and Jack H finish off the top 10 with Stan Bubbles coming across the line in P11. Wow. That was an endurance race, really.
Yeah, it felt like it, most certainly. But Explicit taking home the victory for now. We'll have to update you on the full extent of what happened between him and Cutler. But for now, it is an Explicit win, followed by a Louis T P2. The Tier 2 driver showing that he does indeed have the pace to be up there with the top dogs of Tier 2. So the likes of EXR Happily just not having a really good race at all, but which is unfortunate for him, getting that damage and just kind of unfortunately died his race. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. We will not be doing any post-race interviews this week, but thank you for watching and we'll see you next week. Bye.